Perfect. Good morning again. Welcome back. So this is day one, session one. We are going to be starting with Introduction to Academic Integrity, Good Practices and Research. We do have, as you have seen at the inaugural session, the introductions were made. Dr. Martin Peters is here from Canada, Inga from Lithuania, and myself from UAE. We are excited to be hosting the very first session, and we do hope we grab your attention and we keep your interest for the rest of the remaining 5 days. This is a little bit of an outlook on what we plan to do today. So we want to look at the topic of academic integrity followed with some discussions and activities. Then we will do some breakout room discussions on roles of students, teachers, and researchers, and how integrity kind of plays into those roles. And then we will go back into a wrap up with presentations and discussions. And Inga does have a fascinating takeaway activity for you guys to try at home once we are done with this session. At any time, we're going to keep our eyes out, of course, on the chat, so that in case you do have any questions or you do want us to go back and look at something else, we will take the time to answer you, and then we will continue on. The sessions are meant to be hands-on and interactive so that we can provide you with immediate feedback and you can take the most out of each session. So let's start with the very first question on integrity, right?
Zina, we said we will also make introductions of students. Can we do it?
Oh, yes. My God, I forgot that. Right. So let's quickly, before we start, as Inga has said, I will stop sharing for a moment so that we can get to know the students. Maybe, again, we'll do the same thing that we did with our lecturers. Whoever we see on the screen first, we'll call out, and then guys just jump in and for like 15 seconds, just tell us who you are. So I can see Faisa Farah.
Yes. Oh, hi, my name is Faisa Farah. I am currently residing in Qatar. I am a faculty, actually. I teach at the University of Calgary in Qatar. The program that I focus on is in nursing. And, you know, I've seen academic integrity kind of issues, and I'm really interested in learning about this and growing in this field. So that's why I've signed up for the summer school. So I'm looking forward to learning from everyone.
Great to have you. Nicoletta? Hi, Nicoletta, can you hear us? Oh, there we go.
Good morning, I am Nicoletta. I arrived to University of Insubria, near Milan. Thank you.
Welcome. Hatis?
That's me, I guess.
Yes.
Hello, I'm from Turkey, Konya. I teach English at university. And I'm a PhD student of English language teaching at Çanakkale 18 Mart University. So that's it. Hello from Turkey.
Welcome. Bebek?
Hi, namaskar. My name is Vivek Dahal. I'm from Nepal. And I'm a candidate of PhD in academic integrity, probably going to enroll in University of Calgary, hoping.
Keeping fingers crossed then. Irene?
And I have worked since 3 years in research integrity field.
Nice. Welcome. Irene?
Hello, everyone. I'm Irene Bertazzolo, and I come from Italy. I am an oncology PhD student at the University of Padua. So I'm on my first year of PhD, and I am discovering now, I'm approaching now the world of scientific discovery. So I think that academic integrity is really important and necessary for all of us, and also for me and the scientific world in general.
Awesome. Welcome. Oscar?
Hello, everyone. Greetings from Turkey. This is Özgür. I'm an English language instructor, and I'm a PhD candidate at a university in Turkey. So I'm very happy to be here Thanks.
Welcome. I think everybody knows Oscar, though. He did send us the invitation, the video.
Thanks,
Amy? Amy, I think you need to unmute. Yeah.
Sorry, I was muted, of course. Hi, everyone. My name's Amy. I am a PhD student at Mass University in New Zealand. And my research right now focuses on what I call third-party writing assistance and plagiarism. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Exciting. Nalan?
Hello everyone, greetings from Turkey. I am Nalan Erçin. I am PhD student at Çanakkale 18 Mart University, and I am student of Salim Razi, Dr. Salim Razi. I am happy to be here. I expect that everything will be okay and good and fruitful for us. Thank you for everything in advance.
Welcome. Akbar, love your background, as always.
That's really refreshing.
It is.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Sinat. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you all and all the committee. My name is Akbar. I am a lecturer at State Islamic Institute in Indonesia. Right now, I'm taking a PhD focusing on policy and practice in Indonesia. Really excited with the ENAI event. I joined the conference like 2 years ago, and then I'm happy to see all of you guys, and I'm really happy that I know that I'm not alone. It feels like Avengers assemble.
Nice one. I like that. Yes, we
Thank
are
you.
the Avengers. Okay, Reza.
Hi, I'm Reza. I'm a first year PhD student in the University of Oxfordshire, UK, and hope enjoy your time and have a great summer school. Thank you.
Thank you. Julia?
Hi, I'm from Turkey. I'm a PhD student at Department of Curriculum and Instruction at Ege University. And I want to say something. Okan Baysal is also here. His microphone is not working. Sorry.
Hello, greetings from Turkey. I am also a PhD student, Department of Curriculum and Instruction at Ege University. I am a primary school teacher.
Welcome. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Zakir?
Hi everyone, my name is Zakir and I'm based in Zurich. I'm a teacher librarian and independent researcher. Very nice to be here, and I'm really looking forward to learning from all you all.
Awesome. Beatrice?
Hello everyone, I am Beatriz Moya. I am currently in Chile, so very far away, and I'm a first year PhD student at the Work-Learning School of Education. It's nice to be here with all of you, and thank you for this opportunity.
Welcome. Petra?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Petra Baptiste. I am Canadian. I am a Master's of Arts student in interdisciplinary studies with a focus on global change. But I am currently living and working in Abu Dhabi as an ESL instructor.
Awesome. Francesca?
Hi everyone, my name is Francesca Greco. I'm from Italy. I am a PhD student on my first year at the University in Italy, and I focus on technology assessment. Thank you.
Welcome. Licia?
Hello everyone, I'm Licia, and I'm in the first year of my PhD in medical humanities of the Insubria University in Varese, and greetings from Italy. Thank you.
Welcome. Caroline? There we go. Sorry, Caroline, I think you need to unmute, my dear. We all do it.
Remuting. Okay. Sorry. It's early here. Good morning, good evening, whatever. I'm Caroline. I'm from Canada. I'm a master's student at Athabasca University in Alberta, Canada, in integrated studies with a focus on cultural studies. And I am a English language instructor at Dokuzelu Üniversitesi here in Izmir in Turkey.
Awesome. Sylvia?
Hi, everyone. I'm Silvia Ceruti from Italy. I am in the first year of my PhD in Clinical and Experimental Medicine, Medical Humanities at the University of Insubria, Varese. I'm very pleased to be here and very excited to have this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Great to have you. Peggy.
Hi everyone, my name is Peggy. I am a student in medicinal chemistry at the University of Camerino in Italy, but I originally am from Croatia. And as well, I'm leading the ENAI's working group for students, and I am an executive committee member of the European Students' Union. But for me also, I'm looking forward to the school since I never had any official or formal training in academic integrity. So I find it really, really useful.
Awesome. The next I have is dm.d'Agostino. So I don't know what the first name is. Sorry.
Donna, I think, yes, if I remember correctly.
DM?
I'm sorry. I'm an attendee.
That's okay. You can still introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm an old researcher who never took a course on academic or research integrity, never had a formal course. So this is going to be very interesting for me. And I also work with Irene Bertazzolo, and we both work at the University of Padua in a basic research lab. So together we're going to learn about research integrity. And thank you
Awesome.
for allowing me to be an attendee at the course.
Welcome, welcome. Okay, who else? I know I'm butchering names. I'm so sorry. Kiara?
Kiara?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Chiara, PhD student in Università Insubria of Varese, which is located in the north of Italy. And I'm attending my PhD in experimental and translational medicine. Thanks for this opportunity.
Welcome. Okan?
Okan is my husband.
Oh, yes, we just did that, right.
We just
Okay.
had
Sybil? Sybil? Hi, Sybil. Are you able to unmute? Not sure. Okay, so we move on. Mohammed?
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I am Mohammed from Turkey. I'm a PhD student in Çanakkale 18 Mart University, and also I'm a research assistant in English language teaching in 19 Mayıs University in Turkey again. And I hope the conference will be fruitful, and thank you for your all contributions.
Most welcome. Angela?
Hi, everyone. My name is Angela Clark from Toronto. I work as an academic integrity practitioner in a role I've been in for 5 years at Sheridan College near Toronto. Also, I'm a PhD student. I'm doing my PhD in higher education at the University of Toronto. I'm going into my 3rd year, and I hope to focus on academic integrity.
Amazing. Brigitta?
Hello, everyone. I'm Brigitte. I study Masters in International Relations at Goldsmiths University of London. And I just want to use the opportunity to say that my internet is very, very bad today. So if I drop out at any point, I will come back.
Okay, we'll remember that. Thank you. Kubra?
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry that I'm unable to just make my cam on. My name is Kübra and I'm from Turkey. I'm a PhD student at Çanakkale 18 Mart University and I'm teaching English at a university in Turkey. And happy to meet you here.
Welcome. Nader?
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Nader. I'm a PhD student at the University of Dundee. And also I'm a lecturer at King Fahd University, focusing on mathematics education and technology. Thank you for this opportunity.
Welcome. Jamie?
Hi, everyone. Morning. My name is Jamie Carmichael. I'm a master's in applied science candidate in engineering, and I research machine learning in the area of academic integrity. So what cool things we can learn from that. And I'm also the associate registrar of systems at Carleton University, and looking forward to the week.
Thank you. Welcome. Alicia?
Hello, my name is Alicia. I'm from Spain, but I'm a PhD student in the Master Technological University in Ireland. And this is my first year as a PhD student, and I'm focused on digital twin for improving energy efficiency in manufacturing systems. Thank you for this opportunity and nice to meet you all.
Good background. Ghazaleh?
Hello, everyone. This is Ghazaleh. I'm from Iran, based in Dubai. I have a bachelor degree in mechatronics and master degree in engineering management. And I would like to pursue research as a career. And also I would like to be a professor soon, inshallah. Thanks, everyone.
Inshallah. Ali Raza?
Oh, hi. I'm Alireza Salinejad. I'm a multidisciplinary researcher at the Faculty of World Studies, University of Tehran. I instruct on research methods and academic publishing, and as a journal editor, I'm a member of COOP, and I serve in a couple of ethics committees.
Nice, welcome. Lima?
Hello, good morning. Hi, everyone. I'm Lima. I'm a PhD student from Coventry University at England, and I'm also a senior lecturer. I teach nursing, and I'm very happy to be here to network with all of you, people from different countries, and also to learn more about academic integrity. Thank you for the opportunity.
Welcome. Dila.
Hi everyone, I am Dila. I'm a master's student at Çanakkale 18 Mart University. It is a great opportunity to be here today, so thank you.
Welcome. I think we're done. Did I miss anybody? I know we couldn't hear back from Sybil, but other than that?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Sibel may not be able to answer right now since she's at work.
Okay,
yes.
Good. Thank you for letting us know that. All right, good to know. So I think with that, we are at the end of the introductions. We did want even the attendees to introduce themselves because you are still attending the school with us. So without further ado, I will continue now with the presentation. So let's start with, of course, because we're talking about academic integrity. I think academic is what we all know, but I wanted to focus a little bit first on integrity. Right? So have a look at this image, and you can use the chat or you can unmute and let me know. What are your first thoughts when you see this image?
They look like very similar.
Okay. All right.
Everyone is doing something, but one kid is drinking actually.
Okay.
I think it's diversity.
Diversity, all right.
I
So
think
that-
unity.
They're all
I think
baby.
I think unity among diversity.
Okay, all right. Interesting. Anybody else?
They all wear white clothes.
They are all wearing white clothes. And Amy says, yikes, lots to take care of. Okay. Now, let me ask you this then. How many of you thought liars when you saw this image? Anyone? Faisa says very cute, but she did not think liars. No. No, right? Nobody thinks liars when you see a baby because it's not something you're born with. It's just something that you learn to do as you grow up, right? But here's the problem though. Although honesty is supposed to be the most basic expectation of human interaction, it's not that simple. It's not simple because lying actually is one of the most common wrong things that we carry out. Yeah, most people generally, if you ask them, is lying good? They will say, of course not, right? Except when there's a very good reason to do it. Now think back to, you don't have to tell us what that itself, the truth itself was, but was there ever a time when you had to tell a truth and it was very painful? Just a yes or a no in the chat would be good. You don't have to tell us what the experience was. I think for me, the most painful experience was when I was in grade 7, 6, and I had picked up on cheating because that was the in thing to do in the class, and I was a new student, so I picked it up. And then when I moved to year 7 and to a new school, my principal made me, as a punishment, go and tell my parents that I had cheated in exam. So for me, I still remember it to this day, because it is been the most painful and uneasy experience of my life. Good. Okay. So you do understand that although honesty is something we naturally expect from everybody, it's not necessarily something that we will always do given the context, of course. Right? So have a look at this road. Now I'm from Dubai, and those of you who are in the UAE, you will agree with me. We've got really fantastic roads, and they're usually 3, 4, 5, 6 lanes. You're allowed to drive, naturally you will start driving really, really fast. Okay, but imagine there was a road which had a clear speed limit of 80 and no camera, no radar. How many of you would speed on that road above 80? A lot of us would. Now, can you tell me why you would speed? Particularly those of us who have said yes.
I suppose one of the reasons is kind of rationalization, yes, that that you assume that there is no danger, so it's not a big deal that you exceed this a little bit because nobody is around.
Absolutely. So no one's watching. Francesca said because no one will know. Zakir says no control. Yeah.
But also there's like the context, if it's not a lot of cars there and it's just you,
why not?
To cruise, right? Like I'm not in control, but yeah, depends on the context.
Absolutely. We've actually did a quick study in certain areas in the UAE, in Dubai, and people will come up with such amazing excuses. I have to get my child to the school on time. I have to drop my child and get to work on time. I have to go back home for some work. So there's always a rationale in our head. When we decide, we see the speed limit, there is no radar, we make a decision to cross it, right? This in the world of ethics is actually called end justifying the means. It's actually taken from the Kantian theory, which says, if end justifies the mean, I can kind of excuse that action. But there's a problem, right? A lot of studies have shown that IGENs really believe and justify the means that they use to get to wherever they're going. Now, when you define this end justifies the mean, the problem starts arising. Because you see, the definition says if a goal is morally important enough, any method of achieving it is acceptable. So then the question becomes, who decides what is morally important and who dictates what method is acceptable, right? If you go by this logic, have a look at this image. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with this. This was a big thing in 2015, where in this country, parents were either themselves climbing the walls, or they were paying people to climb the walls. Can anybody guess what's happening inside that building? Vivek, yes. There were board exams happening inside with children, students, grade 10, 12 students sitting down to do board examinations. And these were parents either themselves climbing the walls or hiring other people to climb the walls and hand in answer sheets. Okay. Now, when these parents were interviewed by BBC and asked, why did you do this? They said, of course, I'm going to do this. It's not that my child is dumb or doesn't know the answers, but I want to make sure they've got the full advantage. What is that full advantage? Everybody else is doing it. Why would I not help my child? And at the end of the day, when the results come out, even that 0.001% in their marks will dictate their whole educational career and future. So that 0.001% will make a decision whether they can go into medicine, whether they will land up in engineering or veterinary studies or business studies or whatever, right? So in their mind, this made sense because they needed to ensure their child was getting the best possible opportunity when it came to sitting down for those board exams and getting the maximum amount of marks out of it. Now, this is end justifying the means, of course, as you can see, right? But then there is an issue because you see,
Zinat, I think you're muted.
Yes, sorry, I
how
think
long have I been muted? Hello?
Now
Can
you are
hear me?
back, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so how much did you guys hear? What was the last thing I said? Then I know when to carry forward.
I think this picture, when you
okay. All right. So same country, few years later, this became a headline. As you can see, it looks like there are children sitting down to do exams and there are cardboard boxes on their heads. Same country, different city, many years later. When asked, the principal said, I'm fed up of all the cheating in my school. I need to ensure my students are taking the exam seriously and we are actually grading them for their own marks, their own effort. Hence, I have put cardboard boxes on them and I've cut out a little bit so they can only look at their own paper. Again, end justifying the means. Yes, absolute contextual innovation. And the last one, this one happened here in the UAE where this made headlines, where a few university teachers went about trying out high-tech spy glasses that would apparently catch UAE's exam cheats in the act. So again, justifying the means. So the problem with this whole concept of end justifying the means is it's very contextual. What's right for you may not be right for me. And if you're looking at it from a subjective perspective, nobody's ever wrong, right? Because everybody has a justification for what they're doing. So let's do a quick exercise. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this link, and I would like you to answer the question, why is integrity important? When I give you the link, what is really important for you to remember, please do not put down your name on the title. You put down something. Could be your pet's name, your mom's name, your favorite place to eat, etc., which only you will recognize here. Okay, so that you can identify which answer was yours. But do not put down your name. Okay, so I'm going to quickly put in this link. 1 second. Okay. So Padlet is a very nice software. You don't have to really get an account or anything here. All you need to do is just click on it, and I'll show you the screen now so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. You just have to click on the plus sign at the bottom, a pink color plus sign, and then a box pops up. On the title, just put something that you will recognize to identify yourself, and then answer the question, why is integrity important? I love this person, nachos. The person made me hungry now. Okay, so we've already got an answer here. It says, I value honesty, respect, fairness, therefore integrity is important. Integrity is important because it creates a standard of truth and accountability. Okay. Because I want to trust that we can live in a better world. Okay. Yellow says to ensure process that is honest, so work done is truthful. Mr. Pata says it makes education and research accessible fairly. Moral Act says it is how you are respecting your work. It's niece with a smiley says to promote ethical values of individuals and ultimately the society. My girl lady is so smart, change the color also, so always stands out. Okay. Good answers are coming through. CPU says knowledge sharing is based on trust. IR says to protect authorship and originality. APB says provides honesty and transparency in work. Yo says because I want to trust that we can live in a better world. Okay. I'm liking the answers. Buzz says because it not only speaks about you, but the entire community. Nachos just said society, by the way. River says important to make oneself accountable. All right. I can see many hearts popping up already. I did not assume it was a lady, but the name says Megura lady. I called out the name and I said the Megura lady is smart, change the color. And I didn't say a he or a she, Ali Raza. Okay, Candy says it is humane. TXX to take what you deserve. Okay. All right, so some very good answers coming through. Now, again, like I said, do not tell me who is who, but I'm going to very quickly do something. I'm going to open up the participants list and look at the names. Okay, so let's say I'm going to say yellow. Now, I don't know who yellow is naturally, right? So let's say I'm going to say yellow to ensure process that is honest, so work done is truthful. Yellow gets a 3 out of 5. And I'm going to say yellow is Nalan. Nalan, if you really are yellow, tell me so that I won't put it to your name.
Yes, I am ready.
Okay. Okay. Next, I'm going to choose. Okay. BD. Okay, I will give you a 3.5 and I am going to give that as Osgur. Okay, let's take another one. Oh, okay. So it's me. I'm going to give a 5 out of 5. And I'm going to say it is Liza. Okay. All right. So now assume the points that I'm giving you are actually points that are going to go towards your participation by the end of the 5 days of work, the sessions that we have. Now have a look at what I have done. I have given yellow of 3 out of 5, and I have said yellow is Nalan. I have given BD a 3.5 out of 5 for the answer, and have said BD is Osgur. And I have said, there was one more. It's me, got a 5.5 out of 5, and I said that's Faiza. So let's start with yellow. Who is yellow? Faiza, right?
No, I am.
Who is I am? Oh, Nalan, right. No, is that really you? Who is yellow? Who put the post?
Yeah, the person who wrote yellow is me. Are you looking for the original?
Original. So Faiza. So
yes.
Faiza, yellow, you were the one who put that post, but Nalan got the mark, which is a 3 out of 5. Okay. Nalan, which is your answer? Can you tell us?
I guess.
What? Did you put an answer?
No.
No. So you got a mark even though you didn't even have an answer. Perfect. Okay. Now, the next one was, who was that? BD. So I said BD was Osgur, but who was the original BD?
Zakir.
Okay, Zakir. So Osgur got your mark, which was 3.5. Osgur, did you have a post?
Yes, Zinat.
Which one?
It's me is my post.
So actually, it's me got a 5 on 5, but that went to Faiza. So if this was a real exercise and this is how the grades were distributed, how would you feel? How would that make you feel? Osgur, Faiza, Zakir.
So it's unfair.
It's unfair. Yes, sure.
Yeah, I agree, because it kind of like you worked for it and then somehow then it feels like somebody else is sharing the mark with you.
Absolutely. Yes.
I don't know. Or
lost motivation, Zakir said. Oh, okay. No, don't lose motivation. This is just an exercise. So you see, we can say integrity is important, but we will really feel it when we see that, the work that we are doing is, getting the kind of acknowledgement that it deserves, getting the marks in this case, or the points in this case that it deserves. And when you think of it from this perspective that, oh my God, I did the work and somebody else is taking it, suddenly it doesn't feel very nice anymore, right? So as long as, because cheating, sometimes you will have students come back and say, but who am I harming? You're harming the person who did the work and didn't get the marks that they deserved. It doesn't necessarily mean the student who cheated copied from somebody else, but it also means the person who really put in their own effort wasn't necessarily getting the marks that they deserved because somebody else copied and did a better job and got the grades. So why is integrity important? The exercise kind of little bit hopefully puts it into perspective for you, right? So that takes us, of course, straight to academic integrity, and I will now pass it on to Inga.
Yeah, so we will continue with an interactive thing. So Zinat put very well into perspective that when we talk about academic integrity, we start with integrity, which is something like very general in our everyday life. and then it does not disappear when we come to academia. And I think it becomes even stronger when we come to academia, because after that we move forward to our professional lives. We become responsible for other people, for example, when we do our research, or when we become teachers, or when we move on with a variety of professions. So what does academic integrity mean? So we will start with the exercise. And again, Zinat, if you could copy, you already copied the link. So please go to this Menti Cloud and please write the very first idea that comes to your mind when you hear academic integrity. Yeah, this combination of words, academic integrity. Uptight.
Uptight.
Unexpected.
Very unexpected. Ah, I love that answer. ENAI. Fantastic. Responsibility, fair research practices, done with honesty. Honesty is the word I think that's coming through a lot. Ethics, truth, fairness.
Yeah, fairness is repeating.
Yes. Truth, truthfulness, truthness, transparency.
Commitment to virtue.
Oh, I
That's
like that.
important.
I like that. Honesty and knowledge. Oh, yeah.
I like that so far we have mostly the positive answers.
Nice, nice, nice. So we've got about 26. We give a few more seconds for others.
We can give a little bit more time.
Yeah. We have 37 people in attendance, excluding us, that's 34. Those of you who haven't participated, kindly please quickly do in the next few seconds, and then we will go back to the slides. Okay, there we go. Some more have come through. It's good. Ethics. Okay. So I really liked this answer, commitment to virtue.
Nice, we still have some answers coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can please, Zinat, leave the Menti on the screen. And of course, not still the cloud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think it's important. So before we move to the formal saying what academic integrity means, I would really like now the students to, and of course Zinat and Martin, looking at these ideas that came to your mind, to also have a short discussion. What is behind these ideas? Yes. So I can see, and we will discuss today a lot, that of course both integrity and academic integrity primarily are linked to values, and values which are not specific to the field of academia, but these are common values that we expect and would like to have in our everyday life, no matter how difficult sometimes is to adhere to them, as Zinat has already shown. So we have honesty, fairness, commitment to virtue, morality. Also, I see certain characteristics which could be somewhere in between, some of them as values, some of them as also the characteristics that we as people can hold, for example, responsibility, or the same honesty, yeah, being honest and so on. I would like a comment on uptight, because it's something I wouldn't figure out. So it would be interesting what the participant thought.
I am hoping that the person was about to write upright and maybe had a typo. I don't know.
Yeah, but it would be interesting still to hear even upright, what does it mean?
Yeah, anyone, the person who put in the word uptight or upright, this one? Do we have someone, or too shy?
Yeah, okay. So maybe some other participants could shortly say, so what is behind the word that you put in there, and how do you relate it to the field of academia based on your experiences?
Right, so the floor is open to our PhD students, if anybody would like to share
Yes.
their thoughts. Maybe we call out names, like school.
But come on, you came on your own will to this summer.
Hi,
because
I'd like to say something.
Yes, please, Petra.
Yes, this is very similar to how it is for me teaching. I teach online, you know, and I'm always talking to myself. But basically, academic integrity for me, I wrote truth, that it shows, it helps us understand what the truth is, or at least, I mean, that could be difficult because there could be many sides to the truth, but there should be like a standard to what truth is, I guess. So those are my 2 cents.
Interesting.
Amy also wrote in a chat that she wrote responsibility, meaning being responsible in the production of research, which of course is very important, and we will talk today. Is that how do we conduct our research? How do we present our data? Yes, how do we deal with our participants on research material? Of course. Who else would like to share?
Hey, well, I chose honesty because looking into the definition of the word, we found meanings such as being sincere, truthful. So in the intersection between these 2 words, academic and integrity, it's like the sense of people who are transparent with the work they do, with the efforts they put into the work they develop. So I feel that the word honesty could be understood even by people who are outside the academic integrity communities, because it is a word that can be easily understood by anyone. So, but of course there are many others, but I feel that it represents in a very simple way one of the most important qualities of academic integrity.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any more
Caroline
participants?
said perhaps the uptight meant upstanding.
I want to talk for a while with my. I wrote about a commitment to virtue. Yeah, I'm looking at different definition of academic integrities depending on context. Some researchers will think that values in research will be most important, and then others who are teaching will think that we need to address this. So I'm looking at different values attached to the virtues. So I'm looking at the core as a human, which was actually created for a future. So I link this with the, I remember academic integrity for happiness. Like when you become real humans who are actually created for practicing a future. When you uphold those values, reflecting the virtue, there we're gonna get happiness. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, thank you.
And I see Just a moment. Also, Irene I wrote honesty too, and completely agreed with Beatrice, and Hatice wrote, I chose honesty because I believe all other features are about being honest to oneself and others. Okay, so I think we can move on. Still, if you want to provide other ideas and share with all, you can write in our chat, but now we can move back to the presentation. And we have actually different definitions of what academic integrity means, but we propose, Zina, to next slide, please.
Yeah.
In ENAI, after again long discussions with partners from different fields of academia and research from different countries with different professional background, so that academic integrity is compliance with ethical and professional principles, standards, practices, and consistent system of values that serves as a guidance for making decisions and taking actions in education, research, and scholarship. So you can see that those ideas that you had individually and you put on the cloud basically come together in this definition of academic integrity. There is a system of values, so it covers the values that you have mentioned, like responsibility, like honesty, and so on. Also, some of you mentioned ethics, and it's very important because if we do not know the principles and standards that are put in, for example, research ethics or academic ethics, then we are not fully able to act with integrity in our academic or research life. Yeah, so this is our, how to say, holistic view on what academic integrity means. However, next slide, please, Sinat. As some of you mentioned in the discussion, someone said that you talk from the perspective of teacher. Some of you talked from the perspective of student. Some of you talked from the perspective of researcher. And this is very important, that there can be different ways how integrity manifests itself when we have different roles. And this is our next step, that we want to engage you in a discussion to split into 3 breakout rooms and to try to answer to these questions. Room 1, what does it mean to study with integrity? Breakout room 2, what does it mean to teach with integrity? And finally, what does it mean to research with integrity? And we think that all of you can feel yourself in any of these roles because you might study now, but maybe teach or research later. Maybe you study, teach, and research all of it at the moment. Yes, maybe you are a researcher now, but of course you have to be in the studies. So this is the next practice. I think we will assign people randomly to the breakout rooms, and I will come to breakout room 1. Martin will go to breakout room 2, and Zinat to breakout room 3. And the end product from each breakout room would be kind of a one-slide poster where we present our answers that stem from the group discussion. And I think we need probably like 20 minutes in each breakout room to discuss and to provide the answers, right, Zinat?
Yeah, I think so. Also, I think you need to make Martin co-host, and we need to set up the breakout sessions themselves. So I'll say assign automatically.
Maybe let's I will create now and say let participants choose room, but let's see that we are in equal. So there should be 12 participants per room. So if we see that one room has really many participants, we ask some of them to move to another room. Okay.
Zinat,
so now I am.
Zinat, you are the host. You can
Sorry?
co-host Martin.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Martin, are you still here?
I am
Yes,
still
yes,
here.
yes.
I'm listening. You need to put me, you need to go in the participant. Oh, there we go.
I did it. I just did it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I create 3 rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the option is let participants choose. So each of us go to our assigned room and then other participants join.
Right.
Okay, I'm opening the rooms now.
Okay. So everyone, room 1 is study with integrity, so student focused discussion. Room 2 is teach with integrity, so teacher focused, and the room 3 is research with integrity. So kindly please choose the room and go into the rooms, and then we will come and join you guys.
Yeah.
Let's take 30 seconds to do this.
I'm not seeing the option to join a room. Do you?
You need to click
in the Zoom, I think there are dots with the function
I see
more,
now.
and you should see the rooms there.
Yes, I got it now. Thanks.
So I'm going.
So Vivek, room 1 is students, room 2 is teachers, room 3 is research. Okay, I'm just waiting.
Sorry, how do I get into the breakout room?
I think you should be able to see 3 dots. If you click on it, it will allow you to click and choose.
I see it. Thank you.
Perfect.
Zinat, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm not allowed to go into my breakout room.
Huh, what?
Who else isn't allowed? I can send students, but I cannot seem to go
I can try sending you, Martin. Should I try that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, those of you are not being able to enter, I'm looking at the names, so I'll read it one by one. Akbar, are you able to join a room?
Hi all, it would be great that some more people came to room 1.
Yeah, I think they're not being able to join Inga, so I'm just trying to do it manually now.
Okay, so please assign more people to room 1.
Room 1. So Akbar, I'll send you to room 1.
Like you can send like 6 or 7 more people to room 1.
Okay, Alicia.
Yes.
Alicia. Hi.
Hi.
I'm sending you to room 1, my dear.
Okay.
Okay. Ali Reza. Room 1. Caroline. Oh, Caroline wants room. Okay. 2. Vivek, room 3. Okay. Kiara.
Okay, so now I go to my room 1 and
Okay,
see how many of them will come.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. I think next time we'll just do a random allocation. That's easier. Okay. There we go. All right. So that's pretty much done. Good. I'll go and join my
Hi, Inga. Just want to ask, is this the main room? It seems like still the break room. Hello.
Sorry, yeah. Now it should be the main room, but I suppose
All right.
other rooms are not back because so far it's only us. So very good, because I will write your names also next to Petra.
All right.
Jean,
Okay. So
Jamie.
I'm in the room. Thank you.
Reza, Petra. Let me see if okay. Yeah, and I see some people are also coming back, I suppose, from other rooms. So just a moment, I will, till everyone come back, I will write our names too. So Alicia, you also were in room 1, right? Just not to miss anyone.
Yes, I was in that room.
Okay, good. So our end up product from discussion is there. I see that other rooms for some reason did something a bit differently, but doesn't matter. Okay, so we still have time then in this room to continue if you have still other ideas on what does it mean to study with integrity. So if we can continue, so please. So those of you who have actually students, again, what do you think you do together with students to help them study with integrity? Or those who are students, vice versa, what you think your teachers can do for you to study with integrity? Yes, Petra, please.
Yeah. As a teacher, as a high school teacher, I have to continuously tell my students, like give them the rules, and to also just tell them you have great ideas to share, that you have something inside you, you know, and again, teenage girls, you know, need a lot of cajoling and you know, pushing. So I have to continuously tell them that their ideas are worth it and that they could share it.
Hi,
And this
Inga,
is
are
really,
we, sorry, are we
yes.
calling everyone back?
Yeah, I think so, because it's more or less time and we have only an hour to do everything else.
Exactly, so let's just call them back, yeah. If you can just close the breakout sessions then.
I think it's necessary for integrity of research to establish clear rules at the beginning of the course. I think.
Yeah, this is also, we already discussed this point, that definitely if you do not know the rules in a particular context, it's quite difficult to adhere to them.
Thank you.
So the knowledge, of course, is very important. Okay, it's nice to see everyone coming back. I think it worked quite smoothly. We had some glitch, but still.
Yeah, we put the slide onto a Google Drive because the participants couldn't share their screen. So I shared the screen and they were working on the slides jointly. So that's how we did it in our room.
Yeah, so I uploaded our one slide to this
Padlet,
which you created. So I hope that we can see it.
Yeah, so
So we
I'm
just-
also just waiting for them to finish and I will do the same thing.
Okay, okay.
So I'm downloading the slide now.
And Martin, if you have any product from your discussion room, please upload it to Kahoot, Padlet.
Actually, actually, I was very not disciplined because I realized you made one slide, whereas I just made very, very many. For every major idea that came out, I made a little.
Okay.
So
I think the most important is that we have the ideas and we can
Yes.
share them. So, okay.
Yeah, so our slide is up as well.
Okay, so Martin, please let us know when your slides are up in Padlet, and then we, I suppose, can share, then Zina can share the screen and we can all look and shortly tell what has happened.
I think my slides are up already.
Yes.
That if you have to scroll down to see them all.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so they didn't make a slide. They've just put the points in directly.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I was
okay.
saying. I was not very good. Sorry about that.
Okay, no, it's okay.
I'm
So then,
learning about
Inga, we'll start with yours then.
Yes, we can.
Let's just refresh very quickly. Okay. There we go.
Yes, nice. We just didn't discuss with the group. If someone from the participants would like to present what we came up with, so that it's the real value of the summer school to get involved. So do I have in my room a volunteer who could shortly say what we discussed and what are the points that we came up to?
Absolutely.
Start collecting your points for activity. I don't know. So, Irene, Petra, who else would you like
Inga,
to?
we go old school on them and we just call out names and they have to volunteer themselves.
I'll go again.
Good.
Good.
Go again. So basically, we started off in room 1 about what it means to study with integrity, and all of us had participated by, on the left-hand side here, these were the ideas talking about the rules. We, as students, you need to know what is going on and what academic integrity is so that we can, produce, work with integrity. You have to understand the expectations.
I think we have some.
Have to offer. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, now
sorry.
we can hear you.
Yes, so you also have to understand that you have to know that you are part of a community, that you're, what you have to write or what you have to say is meaningful, and it's not just that you're reading from other people and so on, that what you have original ideas to offer, and that you can acknowledge other people's work, and you are committed to studying, and so on.
Okay, anyone would like to add to Petra what we come up with? Okay, so we don't have much time.
Old school, Inga. Old school, call out names.
Okay, Irene.
So then we go on with the sense of responsibility. So feeling responsibility to gain knowledge, but also to incorporate what we come to know, and also the respect for the academic community, not only the community in general, but also for academic community. Also the commitment to study, that is really important. And we also come to the idea of originality. So having your own ideas and don't copy the ideas of other people. Also the sense of self-worth and also self-work, I think. And there is also a question, so why should we follow the rule? And what happens if we do? You have, so someone else should teach you how to follow the rules. And that was also what Petra said before in our room 1. And of course, we have to know how to prevent it. On the right side, we have some reasons to don't follow academic integrity. And the first one is plagiarism. Then we have the idea of looking for easier ways. So don't be lazy types. And also the principle of that's gonna be enough. So it's enough what has already said from other people, and I don't have to add something else. So also to trust yourself, the idea of trust yourself. And also sometimes we lack time, we are under pressure, and these are other reasons to that lead us to not follow integrity in general. And also money. So some resources are not open access, and sometimes we copy books or we copy figures. So sometimes we also do this as students, but also as teachers sometimes. That are our conclusions.
Okay, nice. So moving on to breakout room 2.
Is there a volunteer in breakout room 2 to explain what we talked about?
Old school, call out names.
Atis.
There you go.
Okay. So to sum up what we have came up with, I think we can say how to teach with integrity. What we need to do is be as responsible as possible for practice, be very good role models, actually perfect role models with no flaws in terms of integrity, of course. And I think another important requirement of teaching with integrity is how to teach our students how to study with integrity. Again, with specific examples, we need to teach them how to write correctly, how to present correctly. So with integrity, of course, I think that's the summary of what we have taught so far.
Okay. All right. Breakout room 2 or 3. Who would like to go?
Perhaps,
oh, there we
yes,
go. Somebody.
Perhaps I could start. Yes.
Again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, one important aspect here is that even though we come from different backgrounds, when we started discussing about the idea of why integrity in research, we could easily see that there was a sort of convergence in our views. And so some ideas there were that integrity is a central element of the research process. It's not a complement, not something else to worry about while you are carrying out research, but rather the core of it, that we need to be involved in an ethical process. We work with people in significant spaces. We need to create relations, and for this, it is critical to be to have an integrity stance when we do our work as researchers. Moreover, integrity should be fully integrated. There was a very interesting comment about the more you research, the more you should develop your skills in working with integrity. And this is the experiential element that really resonated with me in terms of developing sensitivities to understand how to be honest and to yourself and to others. So I don't know, would anybody else like to jump in so that we can share this together?
From room 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amy, Vivek.
Okay. Okay. Is there anyone?
No, Vivek, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we have discussed about like why integrity is important in research, and we have reflected our experience individually and write down some notes, and like here you can see, and second one is we have discussed on like what differences we found by maintaining integrity research in our experience, especially. So especially in that part, we have discussed like integrity or ethics is not for others; it's for one to be ethical in or to be honest in research. So that part also we have added, and another one is to be accountable in the research. What we have done. But here is one concern. I also have that accountable to whom. So accountable to us, accountable to who have done the work. So that part we have done.
Okay. Yeah, so that kind of sums up room 3, Inga.
Yeah, so I think we can go back now to our slides and to shortly summarize something that we as today's lecturers prepared. So we will go now through some of summarizing points for studying with integrity, teaching with integrity, and research with integrity. So I will start in, if you, Zinat, could go with the next slide. It's yours, but I suppose I will comment, and if you have something to add. Yeah, so it really relates well to what we discussed in the room 1. Yes, that as a student you can experience a lot of pressures. Yeah, it can be your parents, it can be the exam deadlines, you can be working during your study life. So there we can find a lot of reasons and rationalizing, yes, why to turn to some practices that do not go in line with integrity. However, we and others who work in academic integrity field, we call for that, you adhere to the values of academic integrity in any circumstances, because this is important. And you see here so-called fundamental values of academic integrity, which firstly advocated by International Center for Academic Integrity. And they are honesty, trust, fairness, responsibility, and respect. And I suppose I will not develop, because we're discussing these concepts from the very beginning of our first session. However, I would like to shortly mention the courage. This one has been added to the first 5 values a little bit later. And I think this one is in particular important because what we also discussed in room 1, and when Zinat was grading, this anonymous input in the exercise, yeah, that we often encounter the situations where we see that someone does not act with integrity. We might even be those who are kind of victims there, so that this is our work that has been misused, or we see that the work of other students has been somehow misused, and so on. And it requires courage. It requires courage to act with integrity. It requires courage to notice and to voice when misconduct happens. And this is probably one more thing that we invite all of you to think about it. Of course, it is difficult, yeah, and we can again rationalize in variety of ways why we stay silent, why sometimes it's easier, you know, to not see or not do certain things. And we will talk later in research that we often encounter situations when researchers might think that research integrity is kind of a burden, because of course it requires a lot of additional effort. It might require filling in numerous forms which take time. However, it is the way to act with integrity, to study with integrity. It's an effort, but it pays off. And we can go now to the next two slides, which clearly show so why we should look at academic integrity not as, you know, some unimportant step which we will do and forget, because what we become as students, the skills, the knowledge, the values, the practices which we acquire while being students, they lead to positive outcomes in the future. Because again, research shows that if you do not act with integrity as a student, it's a high probability that it will transform later in your professional life, probably in your, I don't know, family life, yeah, probably in your other social interactions. And if there is an absence of academic integrity, it also causes a lot of doubt. And here we come back to trust. Yeah, so if there is no academic integrity, so we can doubt about the value of education. Yeah, so everyone is cheating, everyone is buying diplomas, everyone is buying, you know, final theses. So education is just that. Yeah, so why should we bother? So it undermines the value of education and knowledge itself. It is detrimental to the reputations of universities. Yeah, so again, if we look at the university and it is covered with some you know, scandals or cases which there are, but they are not again discovered. Yeah, it can lose the reputation, and finally it makes us lose a variety of opportunities. And during this week, I think that there will be many other talks about the consequences of misconduct, about the consequences of breaching academic integrity. So this is the important point, that no matter what are the difficulties, yes, academic integrity is important, and following it comes with the positive outcomes, not only for students, but for the whole field as such. Thank you, and I think we can move to Martine with still something.
This one just may be a quick one, because I'm sure there will be other sessions that will talk a lot more in details about these. But just to give you a quick view on the different types of academic misconducts that are out there. So we all talk about cheating, right? Exam cheating or plagiarism. These seem to be the usual common ones that everybody talks about. But under cheating or under plagiarism, you can also have like contract cheating, which is where, you know, you're getting somebody else to do the work and then you're saying it's yours. Then you've got collusion and facilitation, where you're actually working with group members or people when you're not supposed to, or you're facilitating cheating. So you're not really necessarily cheating, but then you're helping somebody else, you're showing them the answers and things like that. And then there's fraud, of course, and misrepresentation, fabrication really come hand in hand when you're talking about research ethics. Then there's obstruction and interference as well. So this is just a quick snapshot of the kind of misconducts that are out there. This is not all the misconducts, this is just some of them that are out there that you may come across during the 5 days of the sessions that you're going to be doing. I think that's for Martin.
Yeah, that's my my part. We did talk in breakout room 2 about what does
we can
it
hear
mean.
you, Martin.
You can't hear me?
I can.
You can? Who can't hear me now?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Everybody hears me. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Sorry about that. So we did talk in breakout room 2 about what does it mean to teach with integrity. And we went back and towards the end, we talked about teaching with integrity means teaching our students skills. And so one of the research projects that we did here in Quebec was we went and interviewed 50 professors in 6 different universities. And we asked them, how do you teach with integrity? What do you teach with integrity? And we determined 4 different types of skills that had to be taught. And the first one was informational skills. Why informational skills? Because students have a very big tendency. The second they get a homework, they run to the web to see what's been done before, what's been said about it, and then they copy and paste. And very often they copy and paste, and they cannot find when they go to at the end, because of course they wait till the end to do their bibliography. They come to the end and they can't find the quotes that they've used and so on and so forth. And so they end up just not putting it in the bibliography because they can't find it. So they need better research skills. And I don't mean research in the sense of academic research. I'm talking about really research on the web. And so that was one of the sub-skills that we determined needed to be taught. The second sub-skill obviously is writing skills. Students need to be taught how to paraphrase, how to quote. Yes, I can see Zakia is saying internet search skills. Those are the ones I'm talking about. But they're just not the internet. They need to know how to find things in databases at the library. They need to find things in paper also sometimes. So the first skills is what we called informational skills. Second set of sub skills was writing skills. And then the third set of skills was obviously referencing skills. Obviously the one that is the less taught and the one that is the less known to students. And finally, it's not a sub-skill, but it's knowledge that students need to be aware of. What does it mean to plagiarize? What does it mean to cheat? What does it mean? What does our university policy say about cheating and plagiarizing? And so we asked these 50 professors in an interview, what do you teach of these 4 sub-skills and knowledge? And so these are the roles that we determined 7 types of roles. These are the roles that professors say they adopt when teaching academic integrity. And so as you can see, the first role, and so the reason I'm presenting this here is because you have to stand back and say, what type of teacher do I want to be when it comes to academic integrity? So the first role, obviously on a continuum of very involved to not involved at all. So if I start with the non-involved, we call disengaged professor. This disengaged professor is the one that says, and so, the people that were in room number 2 will laugh, because we had a math teacher and he says, I have 45 hours to teach my math content. I don't have time to waste teaching academic integrity. So the total disengaged professor, I don't have time. It's not my responsibility. So completely disengaged. The second, a little bit more involved professor is the one that says, I delegate. It's so-and-so's responsibility. You were supposed to see that in Quebec, students have to go through college before they get to university. And so the disengaged professor says, you were supposed to see that in college, not my responsibility to teach you. When I'm doing a little apartheid here, where we interviewed the teachers, but we also interviewed students. And so the teachers were saying, well, the students are supposed to have seen this before. And the students, we asked the students, do you expect to learn this while you're in university? And so we had this huge gap, because students are saying, I expect to learn how to prevent plagiarism when I get to universities. And teachers are saying, I expect them to have learned about it. And so we end up with a huge gap of what's expected from one, what's expected from the other. So the delegate professor is the one that says he's supposed to have learned it somewhere else. Again, not my responsibility. The referent professor is one of the most frequent roles that is adopted. Why is it frequent? Because it's easy. Go read your academic integrity policy. Everybody does that. It's in my course outline. Go read about it. I've done my job. I've told them to go and read about it. Okay. Or they'll say, go to the library and ask a librarian for information. A lot of our professors have tendency to refer to the writing center, to the librarian, or go read something on the web, but they don't actually teach anything. They refer the students here and there. Now, the one that starts to teach something is what we call the occasional academic integrity teacher. The occasional academic integrity will take the time to teach a little bit of either, like I said, informational skills, writing skills, referring skills, or teach something about plagiarism prevention, and so on and so forth, when there's a problem. If he sees all of his students cheated, if he's seen a student has a problem how to reference, he will take the time and teach that little sub-skill at that point. But it's not something that he will do he will write it in his course outline. It's just when there's a problem, when there's something that needs to be addressed, the occasional teacher will do it. It's already a lot more involved than the other three. What we called our passive host academic integrity teacher is the one that says, I want to do something about this in my course, but I'm not necessarily comfortable. I'm not necessarily the best one to do this. So I will invite somebody in my class and somebody will teach about it. A lot of our professors in Quebec will have the librarian come in and teach about, for example, EndNote. So the students will learn how to use the referencing software, and the teacher will sit at the back, or even worse, will leave the classroom while the librarian does the teaching. That's why we're saying he's a passive host. He's there, but he doesn't do it. I have to admit, I was a passive host for many, many years. Okay. And then I said, okay, my students learn about EndNote and they learn about the library databases, but I don't make them apply it in the classroom. And that's when I went into what I called a collaborating host. So I elaborated a series of activities where the librarian came in, taught about how to use EndNote and the different databases at the library that they need to search through. So she's teaching referencing skills and informational skills. And then from there, I took the students and the librarian stayed in the classroom when I was teaching. So we're really collaborating. And I took the students through and I gave them homework. We talked about it. And so they had to apply the skills that the librarian had taught. I have to admit, now I could teach them without the librarian, but the interesting thing about having the librarian come in is that afterwards they know, because in my university, each librarian is attached to a different department. And so I have them first semester in our first year, first semester, they know our librarian from day one. And so afterwards, even though I'm not teaching them, they know who they can go to the library to have help when somebody else, a professor that's a referent professor, refers them to the library. They have a face, they know who that person is. And so that's the collaborating host. Again, a lot more implication. Now the best role, and that's the role that you want to apply, is what we call the integrity ambassador. He's the one in his classroom, in his course outline, that systematically puts things that says, I'm going to be teaching one of these 4 sub-skills, whether it be informational referencing, writing skills, or something about plagiarism, how to prevent the plagiarism. And out of our 50 professors, how many do you think were academic integrity ambassadors in their own classroom? Anybody can make a guess? Two?
One?
A little bit more. We had 5 academic integrity ambassadors. Now, don't forget, you can still teach academic integrity, but in order to do it systematically, to say this is going to be part of my teaching, whether I'm teaching nursing, psychology, education, whatever, engineering, you have to have some type of teaching academic integrity in all classroom. And what we say to the teachers when we talk about this, they say, well, I don't have time. And we say, I'm not asking you to teach all 4 different sub-skills. We're actually asking you to teach a little bit of something so that within the program, in the 3 or 4 years of their program, they will gain all the skills. So if everybody does a little bit, if everybody's a little bit of an academic integrity ambassador in their classroom, everybody can then, the students will finish school and they will be able to do their homework and their exams with academic integrity. And that's what we're aiming for. And that's what we're hoping once you become full-time permanent faculties that you will be. That's it for me. I think we go to Zinath now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Martin. Such excellent eye-opening roles, I think you have identified for lecturers, so important. So the next thing is, of course, was from my room where we discussed why do we want to research with integrity and what it means to research with integrity. And I think before we even answer that question, I think it's very important to understand what we mean when we're saying what is scientific integrity, right? Basically, it can be understood as a set of professional standards. And this is where most of the time people kind of separate out academic integrity with research integrity, because they think research integrity has very little to do with academic integrity. They're 2 very separate ideas, ideals, ideologies, and so on and so forth. But here's the truth of it, right? It is professional standards and ethical obligation, but you can't have these ethical standards and obligations without embodying the values of honesty and responsibility and fairness and truthfulness and respect and courage, all of that which Inga has already talked about when we look at the fundamental values of academic integrity. These are the basic values that kind of what we stand on when we think about academia as a whole, not just academic integrity in classrooms, but also research integrity. That takes me to the next slide where, so Australian, the research community has identified these values as the code for responsible conduct of research. And most of Australian universities that are accredited, including, for instance, mine, which is University of Wollongong, this is what our research is based on, that we want to ensure that the research that we are doing is fair. Now, what we mean by fair, fair isn't just, am I being fair to myself? Am I being fair to the participants? Am I being fair to the agency that has maybe funded the project? What do I mean when I say fair, right? So it says fairness in the treatment of others, but it doesn't just stop at that. When we are looking at research integrity, it should be, as Bibik said so nicely, it isn't something we look at separately. It's something that has to come from within us. It has to kind of feature in every aspect of research. From the time you decide you want to do research, you have to start thinking about ethical practices, right? How do I go about putting this proposal together? Who am I targeting with my research? Who am I trying to study? What am I trying to study? What conclusions am I trying to drive? Am I going to have to take on a method that might actually put somebody at risk? If that is the case, how can I ensure that that person or that participant knows of the risk that is going to be involved? How do I give them alternative ways of protecting themselves or finding out about ways to protect themselves when they are going to be participating, right? So then we talk about basically informed consent, where you say transparency in declaring interests and reporting research methodology, data, and findings. Now, a lot of times, for instance, because we do a lot of research on student cheating, and the moment you see the word cheating, it's like a red flag. Oh, students are not really going to come back and tell you whether they cheated, because who would want to do that, right? So then we have to ensure that our study is completely, for instance, anonymous. We are not on a witch hunt trying to find out on our own campus which students have cheated and how can we catch them. That isn't the purpose of the research. The purpose of the research is to find out how are students cheating, for instance, what are the methodologies they've been using while they've been online, why have they been doing this? And when you ask these questions, sometimes the answer comes back that, hey, my lecturer just didn't bother teaching me this topic, but gave me an assignment which was worth 20%. What else am I supposed to do but go back to seniors who did the subject before, when it was not a pandemic, when we were not on lockdown, when we were not in a remote classroom, right? That could be ultimately the reason why a student is doing what they're doing. So it isn't that we are looking to, say, catch a student cheating, but we want to understand that behavior. So then it's very important that we are accountable for the way we are developing our research, the way we are formulating the questions, the way we are gathering that information, and ultimately the way we are reporting that research, right? So accountability becomes central to a lot of the work that you do when it comes to research integrity. Honesty, of course. Let's be honest with the work we are doing, with the people who are going to be participating. Now, sometimes some kind of studies in certain disciplines may actually need you to deceive them, right? But when that situation comes and you go through this understanding of what is my responsible conduct, you will realize it isn't about, oh, I will deceive them so I can say anything I want. That's not going to fly. When you're doing your ethical process, review process, and you're preparing your applications, you will realize the committee will come back and ask you. So you're going to deceive them, but what is the ultimate aim of that deception? What are you trying to get out of it? What kind of risk are you putting the participants in? And what kind of solution are you going to have in place to protect the participants? When they start asking you these questions, automatically you will come up with answers so that your research becomes more rigorous, more accountable, and you realize, okay, so ultimately once I've done the research, maybe I'll need to go back and talk to the participant about what the reporting of that research is going to look like, right? This adds to the rigor in the development process of your research as well. So methodology, a lot of people will, I have seen this when I've done research workshops for students in different institutions, where students will say, but I don't know 10 managers. How am I going to suddenly find 10 managers and put in that data? But that is what you're supposed to be doing. If you're telling me you're doing a study on managers to find out how they have managed their employees and their use of remote skills, for instance, during the pandemic, you need to actually talk to managers. It's not about your own experience of imagining what managers must be doing, right? You've heard one or two stories from friends and you assume, okay, so I know what managers are doing, so I'll just put it in. And I'm supposed to have 10. I don't have 10. I may have 2, and then, okay, so I need 8. I could interview my mom and dad and the cat and the dog and the mirror. So my reflection and a plant and my monitor screen, and there you go. I've got 8 more managers. So, that's fabrication. Okay. So then that kind of gets added into the rigor of the development method that you have taken on. And then comes, of course, recognition, right? Recognition now here, because this is Australian Code of Responsible Conduct, it talks about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, but it isn't just about them. It's wherever you are, whoever you are, and however you are situated, you recognize the sensitivity of the research that you're doing. A lot of times I've been asked, why haven't I looked at culture as one of the items when I'm doing research? And I've been doing research on academic integrity since 2005, and culture has never been one of the items I looked at. And I have a very straightforward answer. I'm living in the UAE, which is not a melting pot of cultures, but a salad bowl of cultures. What that means is we've got 200 people, people from 200 different nationalities. They don't really mix. They all stay within their own, little cubes. So a lot of Indians will stick to Indians. I'm Bangladeshi. Bangladeshis stick to Bangladeshis. Iranians stick to Iranians. So we may all be in this country, but we are not really mingling. So when I'm going to go into a university or a school and I'm going to say, I'm going to look at culture, I'm not really going to be able to understand how is it working in the UAE, because that's really not what's happening down here, right? So understanding and recognizing that there is a difference in the way people are, the way people behave, and what you're trying to study is very, very important. If you want to do, like for instance, in this case, Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people, you want to study them, there are such strict guidelines on what you can and cannot do. Now, let's say I'm not, obviously, right? I don't understand any of their culture because I've never lived in Australia. I'm not Aboriginal background. So I wouldn't know anything other than what I have read or studied. So if I jump in and I say, I'm going to study this group and not even try to have like maybe somebody from their community join my research team, my research is lacking rigor. So all of these things, all of these values that you see, they're actually very, very interrelated. No one of these values is standing by itself, right? I need to be fair to the group of people that I am identifying for my research. I need to be fair to my research, and I need to be fair to me. So then I think there's some chat that has come through. Vivek says cultural sensitivity. So there you go. So all of that then comes through as important for when you are recognizing what is the significance of the group that I have identified as part of my research, right? So recognizing this kind of significance becomes one of the key values of research with integrity. So these are just some of the values. You are, of course, going to have a whole lesson in one of these 5 days with two of our leading academic integrity experts who work on research integrity, Sonia and I believe Shiva. They are the two who are going to be talking about it more in details, but this is just an overview of the kind of work, values that we need to keep in mind when we're looking at research with integrity. It's not separate from academic integrity, as everybody in my team has said. It is something very central. It's not an addition. It is the core of what we do in research. So this just tells you that exactly what I've said, that it's not just something I think about once I've finished everything. Oh, what do I do with ethics? It's from the time you start planning to exploring, collecting details, analyzing, interpreting. So important with publishing and promoting. If you think back to last year, what happened with the COVID-19, for instance, the test on the mosquito, the quinine, I know the layman term for that. I'm not from medical background, as you can see. The whole, the Lancet journal scandal that happened, right? The whole scandal was that this guy said he had done his test on a data set, but then when they tried to find out what the source of the data set was, there wasn't one, right? So collecting data, analyzing it, interpreting, and then publishing it. So all of that, all of those processes need to ensure you've got integrity in the way you're doing it. With that, we come to the end of today's session. Inga?
Yes, so today we still have other sessions, but before we move, if I may, I just wanted to add a couple of the points to what Zinat said, and maybe Martin will add. So one thing that if we talk about researching with integrity, it means constant learning. and constant renewal of your knowledge. No matter at what stage of research career you are you in the beginning or are you esteemed professor, things change. Our research topics evolve. Requirements change. For example, we had this GDPR thing which really affected our research, and we have to learn how to comply to these requirements in our current research. So this is something that you constantly have to see what is changing, what knowledge you need, and how it applies to your own research. Another thing which is probably very important for those who are PhD students now, and in particular moving to the end of your studies, when it comes to honesty, I always get in mind that no research is perfect.
Yeah.
And one of the good things is to acknowledge what happened in your research, if something went not as you planned. I sometimes say to the students, you know, that the hypothesis which has not proved is as valid result of your research as if the hypothesis which proved. So there is no reason to hide certain things, not to reveal the things that went wrong in your research, because all of those things are part of research process. So we have to transparently discuss those things. We have to make conclusion how to deal with them in the future and what they mean for the result of our research, for its application, for its value. But this is just integral part of our research process. So this is my, how to say, message to those who are now in this process, that do not be afraid of some shortcomings of your research. Just transparently acknowledge it and deal with it. And finally, I suppose that these two things we sometimes forget. We sometimes put research ethics, which leads to, you know, research integrity, as some separate thing. But basically, no matter how good your research is methodologically, if it's not ethical, it's not a good research. These two things go together. So ethics is not some, you know, small part somewhere in the process. Basically, you have to think about it from the very point that your research idea came to your mind to the very last point when you present your results to a variety of audiences. Everywhere, you have to think if what you do corresponds to the values of integrity, if you follow the standards and the principles of ethics, and this way you create the value of research. So this was my three cents to this final discussion. I don't know if Martin has to add something.
I think you said it very well. Ethics and academic integrity, ethics and integrity when it comes to research are essential, and they're essential at every single step of the research project. And there's so many little points, but I think it's being covered later on. So I'm not going to go into more details, but I just want to say one thing that we seem to forget is that we hear about non-ethical behaviors from people that have articles retracted and so on and so forth. But those are the big ones, but it's the little ones that we have to be aware of and that we need to be careful of. And as much as you need to be you need to work with integrity in your teaching, in your studying, you also need to do it within your research.
Absolutely. And exactly the point is, because the whole purpose is to ensure authenticity and, you know, the value of the research should not just be one-sided. It should be a value to the researcher, to the participant community, and of course to the university or the institution as well. Right? I'll give you a quick example. I know we're almost out of time. So when I was doing my PhD, at one point I had to develop a survey model, and of course my PhD was on academic integrity, and I was developing a factor model on why students cheat. So I have to ask that question, right? So the ethics committee comes back and no, you cannot ask such a direct question, etc., etc. What are you doing to protect the students, ensuring the minimizing risk, and so on and so forth. So then I spoke to a few people. I spoke to my supervisor and said, okay, so we are going to develop constructs in our survey where we're going to ask, do you know students who have done X, Y, Z, or things like that. So not straightforward, but in a reverse way. Then the review committee came back and said, hold on. So if that's what you're saying, you're going to ask. So what's the kind of conclusions you're going to make out of those answers that you get? Are you going to turn back and then say, oh, 90% of the students who said yes to this question means they have cheated, or they know of somebody who cheated? What if 5 of those people are saying yes, they know somebody cheated, is the same person that all 5 of them know? So you can't really say 5 people, 5 people, you can't take that number as a percentage. So you see, when you start doing research, you realize there's so many implications to what you're ultimately going to say, right? And this is why it is so important to be ethical in the way you're doing the research, in the way you're ultimately analyzing and interpreting the results and then reporting it, because it will have very long-lasting repercussions and ripple effects in the community, in the larger community, in the discipline area, wherever you're publishing. So I think with that, we will end and move on. Inga?
Yes, so this was the first quite of introductory overview, interactive discussive session on academic integrity. However, as you can see, we will have like 5 days further dedicated to quite specific topics within academic integrity. Session 2 today is on contextual factors affecting academic integrity. So I think we started in a very minor manner to talk about it, but of course you will expand on it in session 2 today. Tomorrow, so you will have session 1 on ensuring authenticity and originality. Again, we discussed today how important it is, and second session will be on breaches of academic integrity. So I would say a little bit negative day tomorrow. Then day 3 is basically on our writing and publishing skills. So session 1 will be on academic writing, and I think it's a very important topic, and then on ethical publishing. So again, the day around one topic relevant for everyone. Then day 4, research integrity and ethical approval. So this is the continuation of with what we finished today, and then session 2 will be on use of technology. So basically, you will touch upon the text matching software and what it is able and not able to do, and what are the implications of the use of it, and so on. And finally, day 5, there will be some discussion on legal issues, which is again a very important aspect when we talk about academic integrity and academic integrity policy. So this is an overview of what is waiting for you. So every day is dedicated to a specific cluster of points, and I hope that it will be of great value to everyone. And finally, so I hope we will have like 5 minutes to just have the reflections about the first session. But we have kind of a takeaway task for you. It's not like strict homework, and we are not, checking if you did it or not and things like that. But I would like to invite you all to fill in academic integrity self-evaluation tool for researchers. I know that you are all in like very different stages, so there might be some things there that are not relevant for you specifically. However, still fill it in. The tool is composed in such a way that it has questions. You choose your responses, and for each section you receive a feedback based on your responses. So you can see how well did you did, or if there are some points that you know better or worse, and what could be the guidelines for further reading or acquiring some knowledge. So do the tool, read the feedback, reflect on it, write down yourself questions which you got doing the tool and reading the feedback, and keep them in mind throughout the rest of the week. As you saw, you will have, different topics every day, and you can ask your questions for the lecturers which are talking about that specific topic. So let me put.
Inga, I think there is a question from Vivek.
Could you? I don't see it.
Yeah, not question, but I think after going through the discussion, I think something lacking we have, which we have addressed, like as a researcher, while talking about integrity and ethics, we have to think the researcher's self-well-being also.
Oh, sorry?
Because as a human, we are associated like emotionally. Yeah? Are you listening?
Yeah, researchers what? Sorry?
Researchers self-well-being. Well-being, no?
So
yeah,
remember,
I think
Vivek, when I said the ethics is not just for the participants or the project, it's also to protect the researcher. So it also looks out for the researcher as well, because we are the starting points, aren't we?
Yeah, okay, okay, thank you. Yeah, that point I also wanted to hear.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so you see the link directly to the self-evaluation tool for researchers. It takes about, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour. It depends how careful you read the feedback, So please do it whenever you like it, and have some ideas and questions for our lecturers in the future sessions. Okay, so thank you very much for your great work. But if we still have some points that we can discuss a couple of minutes. Zinat?
I'm just going to share a link just to catch some feedback from you guys.
You don't have to fill it in today. I mean, if you have time, I mean, I'm talking of self-evaluation because someone asked in the chat. You don't have to fill it today. I mean, of course, it's good for you to do it today, because if you have questions, you have more time to ask everyone. But if you do it, tomorrow on Wednesday, or even after summer school ended, I mean, it's still good enough. I mean, it's for you. These tools are for you. It's called self-evaluation, which means that you do it, you see what's inside there, you receive feedback about your knowledge, your practices, your perceptions, and this is a good starting point to make some reflection. And Zinat, can you comment on this feedback thing?
Yeah, so just grabbing some feedback from you guys. It's completely anonymous, so do feel free to put it in. We're just capturing some feedback to see how it went. What are your thoughts? And we are almost done. We've got like 2 minutes to go. Anybody has anything to say or share?
I think we've gone around and everybody's had a chance to share. So I will thank everybody for being present on this first session. And hopefully you continue to have a fabulous session this afternoon and for the rest of the week.
Yep. All the best, everyone. Hope you guys enjoy the 5 days, 4.5.
And the next session is in an hour, exactly in the same place, but with other people talking.
Yeah, I'll be the common one. I'll come back.
Yeah, you will be the common one. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. And I will see you, well, shortly in every session, but basically I will see you at the closing ceremony.
Absolutely.
Goodbye,
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
And thank you, Martin, so much for your early hour contribution.
Yeah, it really means a lot, your dedication. Thank you.
Pleasure.